Ripples Raps Part 4 though, I gotta show those what would happen. I kick it solo, had a Fogo when it's the proto that step up to the podium. No gas like petroleum, should probably bring the sodium, you salty. So you bite up off the audio, retarded, that's why you targeted. Plus you got a sorry flow, I used to party from the dirty D to the barrio. Now I build my audience, focusing doing cardio. Running laps around you, I don't have to pound you. Watch your mouth do it, rather wrap a circle around you. If it came down to catching around in the battle mode, I sat your ego, cause you and I are not compatible, get out of here. I know it sucks and it's sad to hear. You and I ain't even in the same stratosphere. You weak, the epitome, you see defeat. Truth be told, don't belong within 100 feet of me. So get your mind right, not in my hindsight. Don't like the limelight, so I strike when the time's right. This is my fight, but I might be defined by 99 likes when I'm grabbing my mic and I'm within my rights to body beats. I gotta be in your head like lobotomy. You got a lot to see, I'm possibly a prodigy. Hop on beats like a wallaby. Don't follow me or copy me, I'm the guy that you try to be. But you can't mimic this cause you're not kin of this. And it's my sentiments, be a disappearing act. You an idiot and bro, I'm serious. Need to hurry up, see you tearing up. I put fear in you cause you inferior, period. You got a lot of problems and I gotta solve model column. I don't get excited, I get inside of his mind and got to fighting him. Need to take his vitamins, I'm prime like the Optimus. It's optimal, I got to blow up. The number of fake babies, we got an overflow. And they sell it sold to the labels, they bending over for. They broke us a joke and they steady falling for okie doke. We know he's so poor, but he blind and he don't know the ropes. I don't know why you would be stunting in public. You don't own either your masters or publishing, so if the album charts, you ain't saying nothing of it. You a puppet and you love it. You holler telling you tuck it, you a sucker. Defeat him cause I'm unbeatable. He the one that say he the one. He the one that get eat upon. Feed upon, I compete with him easily. It's like either son diligently and evil one appease him and succeed in the fact that I'm even able to hop on the beat and do the stuff. Who the thunk? I make the punks look like chumps. Only doing this part time, I'm better than all y'all. Crazy that I'm frontin' the metal band. Yeah, let me speak on that one time for the one time. It's the new grind that these new timers and metal ass trying to do rhymes and they hella whack need to stop that. And other cats I ain't not soft, but backwards get compared to y'all by default. Rhyming behind the sort of guitars and dumbos think it's the same. It's lame. I've been in the game and put them to shame if I got to. I am not you. I'm more complex. You a haiku. It's impossible to be me, so you should stop, dude. I don't knock you, giving a try or a shot, fool. But when I move, it's different. You hearing it? I rap cause I'm feeling it. Your raps don't even take it serious. You a joke, you blow. It done and appears to be limited vocabulary. Rhymes elementary. Listen to your track, it's the proof. Look, rhyme scheme sound like a page on Dr. Seuss book. You the bottom of the basic totem polling. Couldn't even rap a Nickelodeon slogan. Give you the works, it has the perks to not cursing your verse. I'm high for what it's worth, you right. And I ain't trying to be cocky, go inflated would not be. I just don't like the fact you make rap sound whack, man. This is legitimately an art form. I know you do it to be trendy, but it's not funny when you be a crash dummy for the sake of making money that you don't even see. Please listen to me. That was Ripples Raps Part 4. We said in the first rap, you know, we get all these comparisons to all these other bands because you fools don't know the difference between somebody just rhyming the end of their bars on a song than a guy that's actually spitting. So going forward, don't compare me to any of these fools. Backwards album coming soon.
What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday. Happy y'all could join me. Woke up this morning, so you know what? I'm gonna go live today. Especially since yesterday was such a shit show. Excuse my language. Trying to go live yesterday in the truck, but either the powers that be or my network connection or my data wouldn't let me do it. It's funny how you be on like those so-called 5G networks, but the 5G don't work. But they swear it's the best thing ever. This makes you wonder what kind of agenda they got with this 5G, right? Anyway. What's up, Jabari? Got Jabari Allen in here. Andy Bob, what's going on? What's going on? 6 more days of grinding, I know, right? 6 more days of grinding, and then you gotta grind to get the money back that you was grinding to make for that for those gifts, right? What up, James? I know, right? Hopefully the internet hold up this morning. I'm home, so it should hold up. I know I paid my bills. Kauai 689, what's going on? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. So, for some reason after the live stream yesterday, I kept thinking about I swear I was thinking about doing a live stream, go get me some sweet potato pie and some pumpkin pie. I couldn't get the sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie out my head. So today I might actually go to the store and get both. Maybe later I'll stream a taste test and give my review on sweet potato pie versus pumpkin pie. And then depending on my review, we might have to take Unc to court, or we may not take Unc to court. We'll see. I know, right? Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think that's what happened. I think they shut my network connection now because we was talking about some stuff we wasn't supposed to talk about. I still want to go to that airport just to see. I'll tell you that much. Anyway, let's get into it, right? So I got a couple stories I wanted to cover today. So the first story I wanted to cover is what we was talking about yesterday before the live stream went down. It was before we got off topic about the airport in Denver. Hold up. If you have a Costco by you and have access, they have good pumpkin pie, apple pie, and cheesecake. Yeah, I do got a Costco down the street from me. I'm gonna go check that out. So like I was saying, so we're gonna get to the first story. So Colorado truck driver, right? So apparently there was a bad accident on I-70 in Colorado. I'm familiar with I-70 because I-70 runs straight down here into Maryland. And I could take I-70 straight out to Denver if I wanted to. So he was on I-70, and he lost control of his brakes on his truck, on his tractor. Truck went out of control. He crashed. I believe 4 people died as a result of it. So, I'm gonna go ahead and play this news clip for you. So this is from CBS. So let's check it out.
Appeal plan for a truck driver sentenced to 110 years in prison for a fiery crash that killed 4 people along I-70. Rohel Aguilera Medeiros was found guilty by a jury and sentenced this week in Jefferson County District Court.
So that sentence has some people very upset. CBS 4's Rick Salinger covered this case since that crash happened in 2019 and now reports on the efforts to lessen his sentence.
James Cogan, the attorney for the truck driver, says there will be an appeal, but it won't be based on that 110-year sentence. Instead, it will be about any errors that might have occurred during the trial. But still, that sentence is raising more than just eyebrows. For those who drive the big rigs, what happened in Colorado this week is startling. 110 years in prison for Rohel Aguilera Medeiros in the fiery 2019 crash that occurred after losing his brakes.
It's unbelievable, honestly, because it could happen anytime, anywhere. And if the brakes fail, the brakes fail. It's a malfunction. 4 people were killed. The truck driver convicted of vehicular homicide, assault, and recklessness, bypassing a runaway truck ramp and swerving in the stopped traffic on I-70.
I'm begging for forgiveness.
His attorney told CBS 4 there will be an appeal. An online petition on change.org has around 2 million signatures now calling for clemency or commutation of the sentence. The governor addressed that.
We review all clemency applications. We've yet to receive one from the individual.
Some, but not all, the victims of the crash settled lawsuits against the trucking company involved, but it has since gone out of business. The truck driver now left to bear the brunt of what happened.
The loss of life is sad regardless, but 110 years, that seems a bit much.
Truckers like him who pass by on I-70 may not notice, but there's a small memorial to this very major crash. The attorney for the truck driver says the law does not differentiate between negligent acts, like occurred in this case, and someone who might go out and plan and carry out a mass shooting. Along I-70, Rick Sellinger covering Colorado First.
Look, Serena Williams made.
All right. So that's an interesting story to me, right? Now people that are familiar with tractor trailers and trucks and stuff like that, DOT regulations, well, on tractor trailers they got air brakes, right? Now on I-70, especially up there by Denver, you know what I mean? Especially because, like, I know when I'm coming down 70, let's just say if I'm in West Virginia or something like that, I'm in Kaiser's Ridge, Maryland or something like that. That's real mountainous, and they got these steep inclines, right? The truck has to maintain a certain speed coming down, like almost like 30 miles an hour or something like that coming downhill because it's such a steep grade. Thing is, air brakes, you only got a certain amount of time before the brakes start to kind of like fade or you lose the air pressure in the brakes. So you gotta be real skillful to come down those mountainous roads, or else you'll lose the brakes. So even in this part of Maryland, even though we're not close to Colorado, we still have like some steep mountains like going in toward like West Virginia. So you'll see a bunch of those runaway truck ramps all the time. I used to see them a lot. So when I worked for State Highway Administration here, I used to be have the assistant administrator. So I used to travel out there. I had an office out there I had to take care of. I think like every mile or something like that, you would see a runaway truck ramp because the grade was so steep and that the trucks had to maintain a certain speed, which is tough. In this guy's case, it looks like he lost brake pressure. He lost his brakes. He had no control of his truck. And coming down those grades, right? And I understand them making a case for saying he should have took the runaway truck ramp. I get that. But I mean, who knows how fast he was moving? You know what I mean? If he had time to take that truck ramp, you know what I mean? If he took the truck ramp, would he have flipped? Before he got there, you don't know. On top of that, he's a young kid, so he wasn't as experienced. He wasn't as experienced as these other drivers. You know what I mean? It's tough, man. Like I said yesterday, I drive a truck and trailer combo. It's nothing close to a tractor trailer, but I know I have to do the same brake check. I have to do the same kind of check before I go. But, depending on how heavy the trailer is, the load, and all that other stuff, I could experience brake fade. I have experienced brake fade carrying a heavy load, where I got to use what we call, on our truck, the oh shit button or lever where we can lock the brakes up on the trailer. In his case, the trailer also runs on air pressure. So not only is the truck brakes not working, the trailer brakes aren't working. You know what I mean? It's tough, man. And 110 years, that's a lot for something he wasn't trying to do. Like, you give 110 years to somebody who intentionally ran vehicles. The Waukesha guy, you give him 110 years. You know what I mean? For something like that. This kid, I mean, I understand people died, man, but that was legitimately an accident. You know what I mean? Maybe because hindsight is 2020. Armchair quarterback, and you should have took this, but when you're in the thick of it, when you're looking at it and you got tunnel vision, you're trying to figure it out and you don't know what to do. I'm sure those runaway truck ramps come up fast, and what it does, right? The runaway truck ramps, you bear off, and then it either sometimes they'll go into like a embankment, or they have like a berm or something like that for runaway trucks. You know what I mean? But who knows how fast he was moving, if he felt like he could even reach the runaway truck ramp, which is tough, man. Because like I said, I-70, it's like I said, even in this area, it's steep, man. When you're coming out of the mountains, it's scary. It's real scary. You know what I mean? Because you constantly have to monitor that stuff. But because of this story, and because he got 110 years, truck drivers are boycotting Colorado. They're not going to Colorado. They're not delivering in Colorado. They're not doing anything. And I'm willing to bet those 2 million signatures for the petition for clemency is all truck drivers. I guarantee it. You know what I mean? Because it's an accident. Should he face some kind of penalty? Yeah, I think so. You know, you got to know what you got to do. At the end of the day, you're behind the wheel of that truck. You know what I mean? You know, accidents happen, but for 110 years, that's excessive. That's really excessive. You know what I mean? Go over here to the chat. All right. My understanding is the DA hinged his case on the fact that he should have taken the runaway truck ramp on the hill and he didn't. Yeah, like I was saying, you know, I can understand that point, you know, but at the same time, we don't know, you know, how fast that truck was moving, you know, with his, you know, in his viewpoint, if the things were coming up on him, and he couldn't get to it. You know what I mean? James, I remember a bunch of these big crashes during the 3 years I lived there. This wasn't a one-off event. I guarantee it's not. You know, there's a reason for these runaway truck ramps. You know what I mean? It's dangerous coming down out of the mountains, man. DA making a career on this case, possibly, but he made a big mistake. Apparently, ain't nothing getting delivered in Colorado right now. Mountain driving just out of Denver is sketchy. Exactly. The casinos are up in the mountains, and there were crashes and deaths multiple times a month. Like I guarantee it. It's tough, man. Why? Yeah, 110 years just for an accident, right? You know, the guy's remorseful. You know, he know what happened. You know, it wasn't his intentions. You know, especially with something like that, you can do all your DOT checks, your brake checks, your this, your that, your this, your that. But when you get on the road, man, you know, you know, there's a lot of unknowns, especially on I-70 coming out of the mountains. There's a bunch of unknowns. You know what I mean? You know, he just wasn't prepared for that. You know, which is it's a sad, you know, it's a sad fact. Brakes got too hot and faded out. My understanding is the truck wasn't equipped with a yeah, that's another thing that Candy Bob, good point. A lot of these trucks, like my dad used to drive a truck. He used to drive a boom truck for a construction supplier, and they had Jake brakes because loads would be heavy. You know, loads would be heavy. That Jake brake basically is like an engine brake. It kind of want to say like, correct me if I'm wrong, Handy Bob, but it kind of reverses, almost like reverses the engine, kind of runs it backwards or something like that. But a Jake brake, that's when you hear the tractor show like when you hear that that's the Jake brake when they're engaging the Jake brake to help them slow down and help their brakes. Now that's another thing, that Jake brake, if that was his truck, you know, which probably more than likely he was just driving for a company, which they said he was driving for a company. They didn't have a Jake brake on there. That's on them, you know. But yeah, he was already behind the 8 ball in respect to that. Yeah, you're right. 100% right. Samantha, welcome. Yeah, his training, he was a young kid, you know what I mean? Especially now, you know, who knows how long he's been driving. You got these truck companies, they're looking for drivers. They taking anybody right now, you know what I mean? Not saying that this kid wasn't good, but you know, they're taking anybody right now. But this was in 2019. Maybe fresh out of school, ambitious kid, and then something unfortunate happened. That's another thing we don't know, you know. I mean, in that video, looked like he might have been close enough to get to that ramp on that one, but look, he was moving pretty fucking fast to me. He might not be able to get to it. You know what I mean? You know, maybe he missed that ramp and he was trying to wait for another one because like maybe he got over to the slow lane, tried to get to that ramp, and then he just came up on the traffic before it happened. Yeah, I'm not sure like what they look. I know the ones here, like I said, you know, when I see them, it's either running off into an embankment where the truck could have a chance to slow down, or it's got a berm at the end. You know what I mean? Or both. Papa Naya, Shelly, what's going on? Literally just passed my CDLA this morning. I'll be doing local with Pepsi. F that. Yeah, man, it's tough, you know. You know, just you gotta be, you gotta be aware, you know. You gotta be aware where you're traveling at, all that other stuff. Pay attention to all them signs, you know. It's tough. See, that's the thing. I don't. I'm lost time. You know, welcome. But yeah, that's what I would like to know. I would like to know if they commute it down to 10, or I don't know. Like it should. Got a lot of people saying that he shouldn't serve any time because it was an accident. You know what I mean? That the company is responsible for that. You know, like Handy Bob said, he didn't have a Jake brake on his truck, which he should have had up there in the mountains like that. You know what I mean? So, but as far as commuting the sentence, I don't know. Right now they're looking for clemency right now to try to get him off. Him pleading, basically pleading guilty that yes, I was driving the truck. Yes, this did happen. But it wasn't intentional or malice. It's just something that it was out of his control. It was out of his control. Salute Steph. What's up? What's up? What's up? We're trying it again today, yo. So I'm home today. I don't know what's going on with my phone yesterday. Truck ramps are not frequent enough here in AZ. You could literally end up rolling for miles with no brakes. Whew. Yeah. But yeah, but they finding out now in Colorado, this DA, like, these truck drivers are standing with him. They standing with him like, you want you want our help? All right. Kid gotta walk. You know what I mean? It's not right because, it happens a lot. It happens a lot. And, it's not fair to that kid at all that went down the way it went down. Like I said, should he have some kind of penalty? Yeah, he definitely should have some kind of penalty. But 110 years is excessive. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna keep following that story. That's a real interesting one. I'm sure that's something they're gonna try to resolve quickly. The governor saying he hasn't seen anything. So this is the kid right here. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name because I don't want to butcher it. But, kid crying, saying he didn't mean it, he's sorry, stuff like that. You can see he a young boy. He a young kid, man. You know what I mean? It's crazy. So during the sentencing, the judge acknowledged that he didn't intend to do didn't intend to do harm to anyone. Under guidelines set by the law, his sentence could be no less than 110 years. Like, that's another thing, right? I get what the law say. I got you. Is under the guidelines. Guidelines. Mind you, not the law, the guidelines. They're guidelines. Do you really follow the guidelines at this point? For something like this, do you really follow the guidelines? You could take them into consideration with your sentencing, but if you understand that this kid didn't have any ill intent and this happened, like, really? Because I mean, technically they threw all the books at him. They threw the Bible, they threw the phone book. You know what I mean? They threw all the books, this encyclopedia. Jeez. Yeah, engine brake, yeah. Uses engine compression to help maintain speed with using the mechanical brakes. They can literally stop a truck without using the brakes if they have multiple settings. Appreciate that. Thanks, Handy Bob. Okay, without using handy. Okay, got you. Yeah, mandatory minimums are whack. Like this kid didn't intend that, but the law is the law. That's another thing, right? That's the law is the law. Like, come on, like, have some compassion, have some common sense with it. The law is the law. Like come on. You know what I mean? As far as it is concerned, you let killers and murderers skate. You know what I mean? Who intentionally do shit like this. You know what I mean? Or intentionally take lives. Y'all get them second chances, but this kid right here, you know what I mean, didn't mean to do it. This was an accident. This is a catastrophic failure on the part of the truck he was driving. You know what I mean? He ain't Spider-Man or Superman where he can he can get out the truck and get in front of it and fucking plant his feet and stop this shit. You know what I mean? He didn't, you know, he didn't know what to do in that situation, it looks like. And it cost him lives, and I get it, and he should have some kind of penalty for that. But 110 years is way too excessive. So, like I said, Godspeed to this kid, man. Hopefully, you know, he get a lesser sentence, or maybe it gets commuted by the governor. We'll see. And you know, prayers out to the families who lost people. You know, lost a loved one in this. You know. Man. And you know what? Good on the drivers. Good on the truck drivers that's out there boycotting, you know, Colorado, Denver. You know, that's what it looks like. That's what happens. You got too many people to get his sentence commuted. That's what it looks like when people stand together and try to make something happen. You know what I mean? That's how you make something happen. Oh, you want to penalize this truck driver for a catastrophic failure that wasn't his fault? Okay, cool. Well, how about this? Y'all don't get nothing that you need. How about this? Nothing comes in and out of Colorado until this is resolved. That's how you do it. You know what I mean? That's how you do it. That's how you affect change, not marching and all this other stuff. You affect pockets. You affect ways of living. That's how it works. You see the government doing it right now with the SARS remix and the Yamin. They want you to do something and we don't want to do it. Okay, we got you. We're going to affect them pockets and your way of living. You know what I mean? So, like I said, hopefully it works out for this kid. I bet a certain person with the initials GM won't get quarter that time. You right. Yep. Probably not. Probably not at all. Maybe the real solution is not taking big trucks like this, which are prone to mechanical failure through these dangerous mountain roads, maybe smaller loads or more train shipping. I mean, it could be a thing, but it's tough to say, you know what I mean? That's like saying, like, maybe we shouldn't, you know, maybe it's a stretch, but like maybe we shouldn't allow these, which can shoot 30 rounds or whatever, and we should just use smaller handguns, you know? Like, that's a slippery slope. You know what I mean? It's a real slippery slope. You just gotta equip these trucks that's in those areas with the right equipment. Like I said, like Handy Bob said, he didn't have a Jake brake. If he'd have had a Jake brake, no issue. You hit that Jake brake, just slowed that truck down. He'd have had no issues. You know what I mean? You know, not only would have had no issues, anybody sleeping on the road when he hit that Jake brake would have woke the right the fuck up. You know? But I get where you're coming from with that, Kwai. But I think that's a slippery slope. You know what I mean? Fact, yeah, GM ain't getting, he gonna get that, he might get that Geiger treatment. You know what I mean? He might get that Geiger treatment. I mean, she might get that Geiger treatment. Or we just won't never hear from her again. Anyway. I was telling my coworkers that we should walk off even after everything is over to punish them for even thinking about, yeah. Why not? You know what I mean? Company nothing without the manpower. You know? Completely quiet. All right, guys. So I'm gonna jump onto this next story, right? So here in Baltimore, a couple days ago, a cop was sitting, you know, on patrol in the evening. She's sitting there in her patrol car. All of a sudden, she was ambushed, and they lit her shit up. She's still fighting on life support right now. When I brought the story up, that's a couple of days ago. I think it was on one of my live streams when I was in my truck. They didn't have any suspects. Now apparently they caught 2 suspects in this situation. Before, like I was telling you, they put out a $60,000 reward. And in the area where this happened at, $60,000, somebody snitching. You know what I mean? You know, rightfully so, but somebody getting told on. So as soon as they put that reward out, they came up with some suspects, and they have finally been arrested. So we're gonna go over, check this joint out. Let me see something. We're gonna go check out this story. This is from Channel 13 News here in Baltimore. Elliot Knox, 31, and Trayvon Shaw, 32, are charged with attempted murder in Officer Holly's shooting, and murder in the shooting death of Justin Johnson, who was killed early Thursday morning in Yale Heights, Harrison said. Let's check this out. So apparently, the gun that they used to shoot the cop was used earlier that day in another shooting.
They have arrested 2 men in connection with the ambush-style shooting of Baltimore police officer Kiana Holly.
Police say shortly after Officer Holly was shot multiple times, another man was murdered nearby on Lucia Avenue. 2 suspects, 31-year-old Elliot Knox and 32-year-old Trayvon Shaw, are being taken to central booking for processing right now. Both men are being charged with the attempted murder of Officer Holly and the murder of Justin Johnson.
Hello, everybody. I'm Denise Cope.
And I'm Vic Carter. We want to welcome all of you who are streaming this afternoon.
So police say the suspects had a lengthy criminal record.
Officer Holly remains on life support at this hour at Shock Trauma. WJZ investigator Mike Kelgren joins us there live now with more on these arrests. Mike.
Vic, Denise, police recovered 2 weapons. They were not registered to either of these suspects. Officer Holly's family has been here at Shock Trauma as close as they can be by her side throughout the day. Commissioner Harrison said he let them know that they had made these arrests.
Both individuals have been transported to central booking for formal processing.
Police say they used cameras and license plate readers to connect 2 men to the shooting of Baltimore officer Kiana Holly, but they have yet to determine the motive.
We don't know why they did this.
Says that tips from the community have been here at Shock Trauma as close as they can be by her side.
They did this.
So check it, right? This is the police commissioner, right? Baltimore City. This is the mayor of Baltimore City, Brandon Scott. Now, if the slogan "Let's Go Brandon" was for anybody, it'd be for this head, this dummy right here, Brandon Scott. At every given step of the way, he impedes on this man. This guy came up with a plan. He stopped his plan to mitigate violent crimes in Baltimore, and then essentially tries to implement the same plan under his tutelage. And we see how that's going for Baltimore right now. You know what I mean? Not to mention, he was on board with the defund police efforts. Then you got this chick here. This is Marilyn Mosby. She's the head prosecutor, or the DA for Baltimore. She's doing the same thing. She's barely prosecuting anything from, you know, from drug offenses to the petty theft. She's one of those people that's encouraging a lot of this stuff to happen. So I digress.
We have absolute confessions that they did it. They were there. We don't have motive as to why.
Police tracked down a car connected to suspect Elliot Knox. They believe a second suspect, Trayvon Shaw, fired at Officer Holly while she sat in her patrol vehicle in Curtis Bay. They say the pair then drove 11 miles away to the 600 block of Lucia Avenue, where they're linked to the deadly shooting of 27-year-old Justin Johnson.
The citizens of Baltimore will rest better knowing that these brazen criminals are off our streets.
Detectives recovered 2 weapons and say both suspects, who are in their 30s, had lengthy criminal histories. Knox for armed robberies in Baltimore County when he was 16 years old. Shaw was out of jail awaiting a trial next year on a charge of being a felon in possession of a firearm.
I also want you to keep the family of Officer Holly and of Justin in your prayers. Pray for a recovery for Officer Holly. Pray that this family of Justin gets some peace from this loss as they go into the holiday season.
Now, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland was in touch with Baltimore Police Commissioner Harrison, offering him any help he could to close this case. And the commissioner says he told Garland that he'd already solved it. And he also says that tips from the community were essential to making these arrests. Reporting live at Shock Trauma, Mike Helgren, WJZ.
What up, Queen D? Welcome, 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 welcome. Hey, if you're new to this channel and you're new to the stream, hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Go back and watch some of my content. I'm sure you'll like it. Exactly. It doesn't matter why. And I say it all the time. And if you go back to some of my live streams or when I'm talking, when I do some of my interviews, I say it all the time. The reason why, so Baltimore is a city with 300,000 people. It used to be 500,000 people. Now it's 300,000 people because people are moving. They running like hell, right? Baltimore City used to be a city of 300,000 people. We got 330 murders every year almost. You know what I mean? That's the highest murder rate per capita of any city in the nation. Why they say Baltimore is the most dangerous city in the United States. So a lot of that's because they don't enforce any of the laws on the books. They don't enforce the rules on the books when it comes to violent crimes and guns, right? So their solution is always, oh, we got to do a gun buyback. We got to do a gun buyback. We got to do this. They have some of the most strictest gun laws on the books besides Chicago and California and New York, right? But you still see shit like this happens. You know why? Because criminals ain't going to go and register their guns. They're not going to go to the gun store and do their paperwork. You know what I mean? They're not going to go and go by the book and get their guns. No, they're going to get them any means necessary. They're going to steal them from somebody's house. They're going to shoot somebody that they know got one and take one. You know what I mean? They're going to do all that. They're going to do everything, you know, to get their hands on one. So gun laws don't work, period. Full stop. 2, they do not, I repeat, they do not enforce the gun laws that they have as far as criminal possession of a gun. So as you saw, these guys had a rap sheet a mile long. And like I said before, most of these guys, when they go out and they commit, you know, the ultimate act, which is what they just did with this police officer, and she's fighting for her life on life support, right? They don't, they should have been locked up 17 pages ago, 3 pages ago. But they give chance after chance after chance. They beat case after case after case. The one guy was awaiting a felony trial, but he's out. He out in the streets awaiting a trial for a felony charge. Like, do you understand? Like, this is only, you know, as far as I can tell, you know, in Democratic strongholds like Baltimore City and Chicago. You know what I mean? Like, you see it all the time. And, you know, you hear people like Brandon Tatum and Candace Owens talk about it, but I live here. I see it all the time. You know what I mean? You see it all the time. These people that's out here, you know what I mean? It's nonsensical. Doesn't matter. They get off, you know, oh, his father wasn't in the house and he's a product of his and da 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 da, and they get to walk. And then they go out and they kill somebody, and then now it's like, you know, they sitting there with their fucking mouth open. It's like, yo, go look at his rap sheet. Why was he out in the first place? You know, apparently in the neighborhood she was patrolling, people liked her. That's why the community came out and said something. Not to mention that $60,000 reward. I bet it was a lot of tips coming in. But, you know, yeah, store owner said that she was super nice and, you know, stuff like that. And other people in the community said she was super nice, you know, and these dudes just walked up on her, ambushed her and shot her, you know, gunned her down. You know, I hope they get what's coming to him, and I hope she, you know, hope she recovers. You know, I don't, you know, she on life support right now, so it's tough, but hope she recovers. You know what I mean? We'll see. And all right, Kawhi, Godspeed. Yeah, the statistics, it's been, yeah, the sad part is that statistics been a thing for shit, as long as I've been paying attention to like politics and stuff, which is man, late 90s. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, you got the, so-called ghost guns, but think about it, doesn't matter. Ghost guns don't even matter. You know what I mean? So for example, right? This gun right here, right? Glock 35, right? I'm not the first owner of this gun. I'm probably the second owner of this gun, right? Thing is, we have a registry. This gun's registered, right? It's registered to me. But guess what? The registry only goes, it doesn't go beyond the first owner. Even though I did paperwork on this gun, if they was to run the serial number, it doesn't come back to me. It wouldn't come back to me. It wouldn't like it come back to the very first owner. Or at most part, the gun store that it came from. That's it. That's it. You know what I mean? Thing is, ghost guns are a product of gun control. The ghost guns are a product of gun control. It wouldn't be a thing if you didn't have places like California and Chicago, New York, putting strict regulations on guns that should be able to be purchased by, law-abiding citizens. Because we're the ones we're doing the paperwork for it. You know what I mean? But even if, let's just say I had a ghost gun, right? A lot of these I built. But I built them by the books. But let's just say I had a ghost gun, right? I'm a law-abiding citizen. Why not? Why not? I can pass it. Thing is, ghost gun or not, criminals are gonna get their hands on guns, period. You know what I mean? They're gonna get their hands on guns, period. And, is like they make an argument for them, but like not having ghost guns, but it's just minutia, But you see that these guys had a gun that wasn't registered to them. More than likely, they stole it from somebody, or they robbed some, probably shot somebody and took it, or they got it. Who knows how they got it? Thing is, in my opinion, an armed society is a polite society. You know what I mean? Clearly this cop was armed, but like I got friends, in the police force. I got friends in the police force, right? One of my buddies said, "Yo, the most vulnerable place we can be is in our squad car." He said he never advises for cops to, especially in neighborhoods they know dangerous. He never advised for cops to just sit in their car and just chill. He said, I don't care if you're eating lunch. You keep moving, and maybe she was comfortable with the neighborhood. Like I said, apparently all the people loved her. They thought she was cool, and who knows? But Godspeed to her. Hopefully she can recover. And I hope they get what's coming to them. You're right. A bunch of excuses and no solutions. It's all it is. Always what it is. You know what I mean? They do a lot of talking just for the public eye, and then you see nothing. Yo, Cannon, just move to Baltimore. Where's a good range? You got a couple of good ranges. So White Marsh, you got Free State Armory or Free State Gun Range out White Marsh, Maryland. It's probably about 15 minutes from Baltimore. You got Cindy's Hot Shots in Glen Burnie, Maryland, off of Ritchie Highway. That's pretty cool people down there. And then you got the other one called On Target. That's in Jessup. That's probably like another 15 minutes from Baltimore, depending on where you are in Baltimore. They're pretty cool. My favorite one is Gantry Club. That's in Owens Mills. Gantry Club is in Owens Mills off of Redwood Boulevard. It's kind of like real posh. It's like $500 a year. But they got like food and you can chill and this and that. They got a VIP section for like cigars and stuff like that if you want to do the VIP section and stuff like that. Country club, I belong to the country club. You know what I mean? It's great. You know, I love it. So there you go. Welcome, Nathan. Yeah, that's a magnet mount. Yeah, so so for those, so I can have them on the wall, I got a magnet mount. They're pretty damn strong. I'll tell you that much. Sometimes it's tough to get the damn gun off. You saw I was having a little problem getting the gun off the magnet. LA, Baltimore, Chicago, New York are historical havens of corruption. The leaders need crime to justify their existence and to distract the people from the crimes they're committing. Hey, I can't argue with you about that. We done had what? 1, 2, 3, 3 mayors. Oh, we got 2 mayors that went down for corruption, right? One was like on some like gift card shit. Now with her, I'll argue that she was doing a really good job in Baltimore. And I think that her and the governor at the time, Governor O'Malley, was butting heads. And I think he got her out of there like that. Because he did the same thing to a really good police commissioner that we had here named Ed Norris. He did the same thing to him, in my opinion. But then you had Catherine Pugh, who was embezzling funds and all this other stuff through some children's books she wrote. It was like pay for play type shit. Like, you know, hey, you know, yeah, we do got these projects, you know, I can't really do nothing about it, but if, you know, you buy a couple of these books, you know, I might be able to swing that your way. You know what I mean? Stuff like that, you know. And then you had the one that just let the city burn when the Freddie Gray shit happened. That's what got her the fuck out of here. Now you got Brandon Scott. He a young boy. He hasn't gotten any scandals yet, but he's incompetent. He's incompetent. He shouldn't be the mayor. They only put him as the mayor because people knew who he was because he was a city councilman. That's it. He got the mayor. He became mayor because he was popular. That's it. Not because of his body of work. Yeah. Inside of your car is a coffin and a gunfight. Simple as that. Like my buddy said, yo, you gotta keep moving, yo. He's like, you only stop to eat. Keep it going. Don't bark. Don't do nothing. Oh, okay. I know where you at, yo. Yeah. So all of that stuff ain't really that far from you. Where you are at Locust Point, Cindy's is probably close. Free State's probably closer. Those two probably closest to you. But Country Club is dope, and On Target's pretty cool too. All of those places sell guns too, by the way. Yeah, Steph. Yeah, man. Steph be on it, man. I appreciate it. Thanks, Lost Time. Yeah. No, you're right. No, I get you. I got what your point was, Queen D. You're 100% right with that, though. I can't argue with that. You're right. All of a sudden, something new. Just to let others know you can build it, set it up. Yeah. Yeah. You know, and that's another thing, right? You know, not to harp on the ghost guns thing, but, you know, that's a lost fight. You know what I mean? As long as they're 3D printers and drill presses, you know, anybody could build it. You know, simple as that. Thing is, they can do a mandate and say no more ghost guns, all other stuff. That's not going to stop people from doing it. You know, I got a couple that I built on the. Like I said, everything I do is on the books. Oh, the Hill People gear I wear. So on Amazon, it's a Velcro holster. So in the Hill People gear, it comes with a Velcro strip. So I got this holster. So it's actually, hold on, I got my Hill People gear here right here. So it's all beat up because I use it for work and stuff like that, right? So check it, right? It comes with a Velcro strap inside the Hill People gear. And it's called Maxpedition, right? You can hold a magazine, I can adjust it according to what gun I decide to carry in it. It securely holds any gun that I decide to put inside this this rig. However, only thing I really put in there is my Glock 43X, my little Hellcat, or I might put my Glock 19 in there. Everything else kind of, you know, even though it fits, is heavy. So I usually use those. And Washington State can go on for days about embezzlement and fraud. I get it. I get it. Yeah, Nathan. Hotep's been told you, man. Talking about letting our cities burn. Come back with a tougher crime bill. Yeah. Yep. We gonna see that. No problem, Queen D. You know. But, you know, thing is, and I could be realistic about it, guns are always gonna be an issue. But, you know, in a country where we got 330 million guns, you know, possibly more now, you know, you'll never win that battle. All you can do is let the good people be armed, and hopefully they win out against the bad people. AWA Benna, what's going on? Yeah, all you need is a CNC machine and some code. Yeah. Yep. The information is already out there. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's so many. I got a buddy that know a buddy that know all that shit. So if shit ever hit the fan, I might have to make a visit. You order one for your 43X, but you haven't found the holster that works. Yeah, so I got that on Amazon. It came in 2 days. That shit works perfect, yo. It works perfect, and I can draw quick. I like it. You know, one of my buddies, he has a Hill People gear, but he uses it's a trigger guard. It's a trigger guard on the lanyard. It hooks inside of there, so when he pulls a gun, the guard pops off the trigger, and he can go to work with it if he has to. So, but Godspeed to this officer, man. You know, unwarranted, and you know, in this, you know, in the time where like they treating officers like objects and not people. You know what I mean? I know it's a tough job. You know, it's a tough job, and I salute the officers, the good officers out there, that out there doing good police work. You know. Have you checked out Northwest Retention? I've done backflips, cartwheels, and my gun unloaded, of course, and never fell out. And I never heard of Northwest Retention. I'm gonna check them out. Let me write that down right now. My phone. I'm always looking for a good holster. That's another thing, guys. Like when you carry a good comfortable holster, it's hard to come by. It's ridiculous. Got it. Under no pretext should arms and ammunition be surrendered. Any attempt to disarm the workers must be frustrated, but frustrated by force if necessary. Karl Marx. Huh. That's interesting. I didn't even know he said that. But yeah, so let me see what we got left. So I'm gonna move on to my last topic, right? So my father sent me this. It was pretty interesting. So my dad, you know, he's a reverend, you know. He constantly keep abreast of this thing because this right now this whole SARS remix and yeah, I mean, really gets to him. It bugs him, and he's starting to see some things that coincide with revelations and stuff like that. And I can't argue it because he's right. It's kind of hard not to see, right? So, as we were talking about before, Germany is gone full brown shirt, and basically they look like they're reverting back to their old ways. And soon the EU, and then I'm sure that should have come over here to the United States because we're starting to see some of it now. So this story actually comes from the 700 Club, believe it or not, 700 News. So unyamming Europeans fight for rights as SARS remix restrictions tighten. You know, I'm talking in code because I can't say it. Fair use. This is from 700 News.
Lockdown with no full access to society or jobs. They're also facing fines and even jail. That's what the unvaccinated are up against in many European countries, and the backlash is growing. Dale Hurd reports on the escalating crackdowns and the rising protests.
When I talked to American Alicia Duran and her German husband Andreas, they were packing, trying to get out of Germany as quickly as possible with their 3 children. They've had enough of Germany's strict COVID policies. Europe is in the midst of an uprising of the unvaccinated, pitting citizens who refuse to get the jab against governments that want the pandemic to end. And neither side is backing down.
You hear what he said? They're pitting side against side. I wonder who that was. Certain actress on Mandalorian who said that's how governments demonize certain sects of people. What's her name? Oh yeah, Gina Carano said that. And they blackballed her for it. Right? And that was just what? That was like a year or so ago? It had been just a year ago? Huh. That's if they would have kept the tweet up, I guess that would have aged well, huh?
By nation, Europe is turning into a 2-tiered society in which those who refuse to be vaccinated will live under lockdown without full access to society or jobs, facing fines and even jail. The Durans are leaving Germany after Andreas became unable to work because of COVID restrictions.
I'm not allowed to work anywhere anymore, really, without providing a proof of vaccination or recovery.
Well, there's also no more privacy. Like you go into the bakery and the cashier will loudly ask you for your vaccine pass if you want to go have a cup of coffee.
So are you vaccinated?
No, like very loudly. The discrimination is terrible.
It's a similar story across Europe.
Fair
In
use.
Italy, the unvaccinated now must take a COVID test every 48 hours if they want to live a free life.
Every 48
Gunnar
hours?
Beck, a German member of the European Parliament, calls Europe's COVID policies dangerous.
And that's what I was saying, right? I said this in the video before. They're gonna make your life so miserable and so uncomfortable that you're gonna be begging to take that shot. You gotta get something shoved in your nose every 48 hours if you don't get the yamming. Every 48 hours if you don't get the yamming. Make that make sense. For a yamming that don't even protect you from getting the remix.
Authoritarian.
I mean, we're not talking about the Black Death here. I'm not even sure the Black Death would warrant the effective suspension of the rule of law, constitutional government, and democracy.
Austria is ground zero for the world's toughest COVID policies. The unvaccinated have already been in lockdown for almost a month. And next year will have to pay $4,000 in fines every 3 months unless they not only get vaccinated, but get booster shots.
Oh, wait,
Eric
what?
Hewitt is an American living in Austria with his wife and 5 children.
The government is attempting to transform the society.
Year will have to pay for the unvaccinated have already been in lockdown for almost a month. And next year will have to pay $4,000 in fines every 3 months.
You see this?
Unless they not only get vaccinated, but get booster shots. Eric Hewitt is an American living in Austria with his wife and 5 children.
The government is attempting to transform the society into a totalitarian police state.
Hewitt's unvaccinated children have been kicked out of music school for refusing daily COVID tests. When shopping, their family is only allowed to enter grocery stores and pharmacies.
The toy store wouldn't let my wife in to buy a toy for a birthday.
Medical privacy, still a law in Austria, has been breached by the government. The state knows who has and who hasn't been vaccinated, and there are fears the government will use vaccine passports to include new Chinese-style digital identities. Catholic act.
But they already been trying to get that done. They already been trying to get that done. You know what I mean? This is crazy. Like, they back at it again. Germany back at it again. $4,000, 4,000 euros or whatever it is. If you don't get the, you know what I mean? What I just say before? Where you get people to comply, you attack their pockets and their way of living. And that's what they doing. Y'all don't think that's not going to come here?
Activist Alexander Chuguel says Austrians have become the lab rats of the Western world and believes the Austrian experiment will spread.
Do you want a government which enforces things like abortion, homosexual marriage, other things? So a government which definitely shows that they do not only not follow the teaching of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but rather fight against it. Do you want them to have every information available and full control of where you're allowed to go and where you're not allowed to go, like in China? I say no, and that's the reason we go and protest.
Hewitt has decided to stay in Austria and fight.
God has placed me at a critical battle in the spiritual war. The whole society is becoming an inhuman machine based on fear and repression. And so what I want to restore a human society.
But the Durans in Germany have had enough.
It's beautiful when people want to stay and fight, but we feel like the fight is lost here.
They see Germany laying the groundwork for its own nationwide vaccine mandate that could include children. Germany's COVID restrictions have been so draconian, this German mother says her 10-year-old daughter wants to die. Beck believes if...
So they got a point, right? And I said this too. I said, like, especially here now that 5 to 11-year-olds can get the, you know what I mean, along with the other older kids. How long do you think it's going to be before they make that a part of their schedule? A part of their V schedule in order to go to school? It's happening. Like I said, folks, that dark one is here, man. They turning the heat up on that frog pot. The Affordable Care Act was $2,000 to avoid. Yeah.
If Germany introduces a vaccine mandate, the EU will follow with a European-wide mandate. Most Europeans are vaccinated, although far fewer have gotten boosters. In Sweden, enthusiastic citizens are voluntarily injecting their vaccine passports into their hands in the form of readable microchips.
Mark of the Beast, anybody? Voluntarily. Say that again.
Boosters. In Sweden, enthusiastic citizens are voluntarily injecting their vaccine passports into their hands in the form of readable microchips.
Mark of the Beast, anybody? They call us conspiracy theorists, right? Saying that we tinfoil hat wearing conspiracy theorists when we said this was going to happen, right? Now look, it's already happening. It's happening in Sweden. Look at Germany right now. Soon, probably the EU's going to follow. And what happens over there is they're going to attempt it here in America. You know what I mean? And it's ridiculous, you know? You got people that's on point. You got people that's on board with this shit. You got Americans that's on board with this shit. You see what they say on Twitter and Facebook and stuff like that. The unyamin need to go by the wayside. Need to be taken out. Need to be locked up. You know what I mean?
The protests against Europe's COVID policies are now as far-flung as Barcelona to Brussels to Kiev in Ukraine to Zagreb in the Balkans, where this Croatian IT expert said, "I came here to fight against fascism, totalitarianism, these insane restrictions, and insane politicians." Protesters are demanding what they used to take for granted: freedom. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Crazy, right? Nathan, I'm sorry, I'm about to butcher your last name. Nathan Magniez. The book about to pop off, but I don't think the lockdowns will make it until the midterms. I guess you got a point there, but you're right. Stay frosty, everybody. Stay on the lookout. Nah, I feel you. I heard Arizona, people living wild, they living free out there, boy. I hear that. I wouldn't mind being there. Yeah. Yep. Good point. You know, they only gonna go as far as people let them go. You know what I mean? And right now, everybody, they dying to comply. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what James was saying. They don't see no restrictions. But yeah, you seen it yourself, Nathan. They literally it's not like they're doing about force. These people, they jumping at the chance to get this chip in their hand. Altered carbon shit. You know what I mean? I know, right? Stuff. I know, right, Queen D? It's happening. It's happening. But you know, here in America, if you're not really paying attention, we're in our own little bubble. People think, oh, that'll never go down. Look what we seeing. Look what we seeing. AZ will be a lot better once Douchey is gone. That is funny. Right, exactly. What up, Super Carlo? Welcome, sir. Yeah, you know, they telling us we crazy, we tripping out here, you know what I mean? But we've been batting 1,000 the last couple years, huh? Right, exactly. Yep. Are we talking about dog trackers 18 months ago? Yeah. Yeah, he is. He's a weak candidate, man. You know, he can't stand his own ground. So in the midterm, when the midterm remix coming out late August, early September, that's what I'm thinking. It's gonna be interesting, man. You can't speak on him enough yet. I feel you. I mean, everything I see in the news, yo, he's a coward. He's not worried about the people. He's worried about his appearance. Yeah, it's definitely unbelievable, Natasha. He that soft? Damn. But you had a point though, Queen D. Yeah, we seeing it low key in New York right now. We seeing it low key in New York. That just tells me that powers that be are paying attention to what's happening overseas, and they trying to implement that here. Bro, the people in white Baltimore neighborhoods ready to chop your head off if you walk 1 foot in the store. Yeah, they are. But in the county, yeah, nobody cares in the county. You're right. You're 100% right. You'll see that. Baltimore City, boy, they trip, right? Get out to Baltimore County, Westminster, Carroll County, PG County, they kind of like Baltimore City. Columbia is hit or miss. But yeah, for the most part, counties don't care. They like whatever, you know. But Baltimore City definitely on that. And that's because that Brandon Scott mandated that we have to still wear them muzzles. I still don't wear them. NY Senate going to vote on a bill to remove people. Huh. That's interesting. Like I said, folks, Dark Winter's here, man. You know, They don't report on stuff like we just saw. You ain't gonna see this on CNN. You're not gonna see this on CNN. You're not really gonna see it on any other news network for real. You're only gonna see independent media reporting on it. You know, definitely suspect. You know, and I see when my father was looking at it, as he did say the 4-minute 44-second mark. They willingly getting these chips into their hands. I remember they was talking about, the Yameen passports. I remember they was talking about getting chipped before, here. You know what I mean? And now we're seeing it. We're seeing it on the world. We're seeing Germany revert back to their old ways. You know what I mean? They're turning citizen against citizen. The Yameen against the un-Yameen. You know what I mean? Sheep against the sheepdogs. Yeah, exactly. They have successfully brainwashed people, man. And nobody really understands, and nobody really sees it. That's the sad part. Nobody's really seeing it. You know what I mean? It's here. The stuff that we thought only happened in movies is here. You know what I mean? Now let's see how everybody reacts to it. Government, they like get down or lay down. You know what I mean? How many people gonna stand up? How many people gonna fight for what's right? Fight for their sovereignty? Fight for their free will? Right now, looks like a lot of people laid down, and a lot of people willingly gave up their freedom for security against something that ain't even a threat. The Omarion variant ain't even doing nothing. Has anybody even succumbed to that yet? Has that even been a casualty to the Omarion? You're right, we do. You do. Appreciate that. That's all I try to do is speak honestly and truthfully, you know what I mean? Fight them wanting to get me out the paint. Good point. What's normal? You know what I mean? What's normal anymore? Build back better. Gas prices is out of control. Food prices is out of control. People got to choose whether I'm gonna get a full tank of gas or I'm gonna go get my kids something to eat. It's a lot of people like that. Especially around the holidays. You know what I mean? You got people got to tell their kids Santa Claus broke. Ahmad, what's up, Ahmad? Dia Blade, what up, cuz? Yeah, a lot of people are walking away from their careers. You got cops. That they were doing like what? 15, 16 years on the job, just walked off. Just walked away. They wasn't dealing with it. You got that in New York, got it here in Baltimore. You know what I mean? You got it all over the state. You got it all over the United States. People just walking away from their careers. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Hey, y'all, if y'all not subscribed, go to Dia Blaze 621's channel. He got a good channel. He be giving out some good spiritual advice and stuff like that. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, why is this such a big deal? Why is this such a big deal? Hold on. Getting a little warmer here to turn my fan on. But why is this such a big deal? Why are they making this their hill, to make everybody else die on? I still don't understand it. Yeah, you're right. People couldn't wait to give their bodily anatomy so they could go to the football game. Yeah, yep. A lot of people did give it up for bread and circuses, yo. A lot of people did give up their rights for bread and circuses. You know what I mean? I can't go to Puerto Rico. I can't go to Bahamas or whatever. I need to go on vacation. You know what I mean? I need to go on vacation. I gotta go. I'm gonna go get this jab. Sacrificing freedom for security. You know what I mean? What Ben Franklin say? People who sacrifice their freedom, who give up their freedom for security, deserve neither. I'm gonna check that out. Is it a vertical grip or is it a angle grip? Right. Back to our regularly scheduled programming. Beware the military-industrial complex and never forget the internet is military technology. That's right. DARPA created it, right? Eisenhower warned us against the military-industrial complex. On his way out the door, nobody listened. Thought he was a crazy old man. All right, yeah, I'll let you know, yo. I'm actually, me and my family looking to help a family here too. So, I'll let you know something. You friends with me on Twitter? Hit me on Twitter. Exactly. Prioritize now. Toys, food, utilities, or gas. What's more important? Right. Phoenix PD, 500 officers short. Went and recruited 38 officers from Ohio. Really? Phoenix mayor implemented mandatory jab by January. All 38 officers declined. Is that right? It's some of that going on here in Baltimore County, Baltimore City with their officers too. They haven't mandated it just yet, as far as I think the county, but it's happening. Once they do, we'll see a lot more people walk off. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. I got you. All right, cool. People ask me, how could I walk away from my money? I respectfully responded, if I don't stand for something, I'll fall from anything. Correct. It's 100%. 100%. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, so I use I got a couple different grips on my stuff. This one I got the regular A2. That's because I took it off of it. I took the one I have here, which I think this might be BCM. Oh no, that's Hogue. So the one on this one this is a Hogue grip. I took it off of here and put it on there. That's the one I shoot around the most. So I put the A2 back on here, but I might pick up the BCM for that one. I got a Hogue on that one too, and this one. This is UTG. I just like it. It's a really good grip. It's comfortable when I'm hunting and stuff. Hey, food, ammo, gas. You gotta have a couple toys for the kids, you know. You gotta keep them occupied when all this shit go down. Keep them distracted while all the shit go down. But right now, kids, you know, parents legitimately, like Queen D said, they gotta decide. They gotta decide, right? Am I gonna get my kids a Christmas? Or am I gonna get the stuff that we need? You know, you don't want to let the kids down. You know what I mean? But at the same time, guys got to survive. Like I said, my truck is $150 just to fill up for diesel, which is cheaper than regular gas, but it's still expensive as hell right now. My little sports car, I did a little video on it on Twitter. It cost me $67 for 16 gallons of gas. $67 for 16 gallons of gas for a sports car that don't have a big gas tank. You know what I mean? Build back better, right? Build back better. We was getting it when Donnie T was in office. We was getting it. Energy independent. You know, food, gas prices was down. It was easier to start businesses. He reversed the '94 crime bill essentially. or he put the first step, pardon the pun, into doing it. You know what I mean? He was entertaining a contract for Black America by Ice Cube, even implemented some of Ice Cube's ideas into his platinum plan. Like I told people before, you let the news and the powers that be tell you that the guy that had your best interest at heart was the bad man. And the guy that really was the racist was the one that was coming to save America. And now everybody's sitting around here with the what the fuck happened face. You got people who voted for him. My sister, she was like, yo, this nigga embarrassing. She was like, he embarrassing. She's like, I can't even justify him no more. He got to go. I don't know what I was thinking. And she just is upset with Kamala. You know what I mean? You know, speaking of that, let's check that out real quick before I get off. Let's see if I can find that real quick. Y'all see that thing with Charlemagne? So first I wasn't going to look at it, but y'all see the thing with Charlemagne, and he interviewed her, and he said, who's really running? Who's really the president? Joe Biden or Joe Manchin? And she got all indignant on him. Yo, let me see if I can find that real quick. Give me a second. Let's go back to these chats real quick. I'm just happy to be in Georgia, which is a state known for cheap gas. I cannot imagine what gas is like other places, man. It's bad, yo. Thank you, World Economic Forum. My greatest accomplishment will never be the money I've made, but who I raised to carry my... Yeah, exactly. Good words to live by. It's real out here. Plus, most lost their jobs. No unemployment. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Because now they're starting to, like, you can't collect unemployment if you refuse to get the shot. Everyone trying to act like Cube and yay crazy. I know, right? You know, but that's the power of propaganda in the media. You know what I mean? Ridiculous. You know, everybody loved Ye until he said that slavery was a choice. I knew what he was saying when he said it. As soon as he said it, I knew exactly what he was talking about. But people took the narrative of the media. I got a new coupe coming in a couple of weeks. Not looking forward to premium. Yeah, yo, like I would say, cause my car all tuned up and stuff, so I can't put anything less than premium in there. If I do, I'm gonna fuck my car up. So I have to, and that shit is expensive right now, yo. Yeah, I seen that. Like I said, sometimes he hit or miss for me sometimes. Sometimes Charlamagne rubbed me the wrong way, and sometimes he be on it. You know what I mean? Let me see if I can see. If we got it. Here we go.
Real president of this country is it Joe Manchin?
All right. All right, let's go over here to this real quick, right? Kamala told Rattle she has no grace. But she has no grace. No grace. She started going to her so-called black shit. Right, yeah, like that's gaslighting, yo. You gaslighting, like that's like you don't want an argument like that. If you want to rebut him, then you know, make it good. But let's go for it. Let's see.
Real president of this country is it Joe Manchin or Joe Biden, Madam Vice President?
Come on, Charlamagne.
Come
on, it's Joe Biden.
I can't tell sometimes.
No. It's Joe Biden. It's Joe Biden, and don't start talking like a Republican about asking whether or not he's president.
Gaslighting, yo. She's losing a fight. She didn't like the insult, and she got to go there. You know what I mean? He do. I think so, too. I think he's smarter than he puts on. I was same here, James. He a broken clock like Bill Maher. I get you. You need to learn. Yeah. Yeah. Ridiculous. Let's get back.
It's Joe Biden.
Do you think Joe Manchin is a problem?
It's Joe Biden, and I'm vice president, and my name is Kamala Harris. And the reality is, because we are in office, we do the things like the child tax credit, which is going to reduce black child poverty by 50%, on track.
Let me tell you about this child tax credit that they gave everybody throughout the year, right? So they was giving it out every month throughout the year, right? I'm willing to bet it's going to be a lot of people that's fucked up in their taxes because of this. You know what I mean? So they gave it throughout the year. You know what I mean? Whatever it is. And then now you got to, you know, January coming up. Tax season coming up. You can't take that tax credit no more. I mean, people on top of that, and everything else, you know what I mean? How people aren't going to be upside down on their taxes or owe, how people not going to owe is beyond me. You know what I mean? But she's touting it like this was a win. I don't think 90% of the lower middle class going to win on that.
To do that. We do things that are about saying that our Department of Justice is going to do these investigations and require that we end chokeholds and have body cameras.
Fuck that. If I was a cop and I had to take a nigga down and he was bigger than me, or he was, he kidnapped rear naked choke. His ass going to sleep. And that's that. The dude in if you watch the video, the dude in was it Atlanta? The dude over there by the Wendy's, I forgot his name. The one that fought the cops because he was drunk. You could see the cop wanting to go for the chokehold, but he couldn't. He didn't. He probably could have stopped that if he just would have choked him out. But you can't do it no more. So now you gotta do all this other stuff. They end up having to shoot the dude. Fuck that. I gotta take you down. You getting choked the fuck out. Period. Full stop.
It is the work of saying we're going to get lead out of pipes and paint because our babies are suffering because of that. It is the.
So now she making reference to, I guess she making reference to Flint, Michigan. Last I remember, Flint, Michigan happened under Obama, and he did nothing about it. Last I remember, Donnie T actually started to fix Flint, Michigan. But you can't tell people nothing. You know what I mean? She just using this to tug on heartstrings because people don't know.
Work of saying people who ride public transit deserve the same kind of dignity that anybody else does. So let's improve that system. It is the work of saying that we have got to bring down prescription drug costs because folks who have diabetes should not be.
You hear this? You hear what she's saying? Last I checked, Donnie T brought down prescription drug costs. And the minute old Joe Nicholson got in there, that went by the wayside. It's almost like she ain't been paying attention. It's almost like she ain't been doing her job. It's almost like she just been on vacation the last couple of years. You know? It's almost like she's not the vice president of the United States.
Be dying because they don't have enough money in their pocket. It's about saying black maternal mortality is a real issue that must be treated by everybody, including the White House, as a
black maternal mortality. Is that another word for saying is she talking about infant deaths, or is she talking about promoting abortions and that? No, that's a pretty vague statement. Come on.
A serious issue. Okay? So I hear the frustration, but let's not deny the impact that we've had and agree also that there is a whole lot more work to be done. And it is not easy to do, but we will not give up, and I will not give up.
She looks so she's trying to look so genuine about what she's saying, and she's not. She's not. I will not give up. Like, please. You know what I mean? Everything that she said as an issue, everything she said was an issue isn't an issue anymore. It wasn't an issue a few years ago. Like I said, hate him or love him, Donnie T rectified a lot of that. The right to try, remember that? The Right to Try Act. People that had, you know, terminal issues had the right to try experimental things. You know, to see if they can, you know, better their chances of survival. You know, the prescription drugs were dropping, gas was cheap, food prices was going down because he cut a lot of that red tape with the farmers and stuff like that. You know, but she's sitting here rattling off issues that they caused when they came into office. But you know what? You got people talking about some yes queen, get them, blah, 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 blah. Reality is that the reality is that she still is unpopular and they trying to get rid of her too the minute old Joe Nickel slick out of there. You know what I mean? What she did was intellectually lazy and dishonest. No other way to put it. Yeah, it definitely was. You're right. Most people do count on tax returns. You know what I mean? But a lot of people ain't gonna get that. I would be shocked if anybody get a decent tax return back. I only trust the Kamala Harris is a Ugandan headhunter. Yeah, it definitely was a cringy thing. You know what I mean? She has no wit. She just thought that she was playing up to some whatever base she thinks she still has. A lot of people are just kind of backing away from her. You know? Straight up, yo. Straight up. Straight up. LOL, I'll bet money they're going to count that. Yeah, they are. Watch, they're gonna count it as income. That's what I'm saying. They don't count that as income. They're not gonna do nothing, and it's gonna fuck so many people. Guaranteed. Not to mention all that stimulus money they gave out. People gonna be like, they ain't gonna be taking no more Dubai trips. All them trips you saw everybody taking back under Donnie T. Yeah, okay. My name is Kamala Harris. LOL, filler word. That's exactly what it was. You try to come up with some witty retort. Charlamagne did the interview to make her look presidential and it failed. Yeah. Yeah. Like she could have eloquently, you know, rebutted that, but she couldn't. She couldn't. You know what I mean? Like, gosh, man. Y'all, people voted for this. How would a punk ass tax credit lower poverty by 50%? Tax credit gonna be $80K plus. Exactly. Man, listen. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Last I checked, I think they fixed the pipes in the street, and that I think Flint was like 90% good to go when they're drinking water. Me personally, I'm like, we got to fix the houses pipes now too, or whatever. But you know, facts and shit. They talking like presidential races next year. They've been in office for a year, yeah, because they in damage control. Their approval ratings is in the toilet. Nobody wants them there anymore. And now they trying to do damage control before one for midterms, because Democrats are looking bad right now. And then for their race, they're gonna get fucking swept. She should have pulled out some hot sauce from her purse like Hill Dog. I think that's what the AKA stuff is. Ain't shit AKA or something? Charlamagne bum ass trying to help her out and make her look presidential. Yeah, and she dropped the fucking ball on it. She fumbled. She had a ridiculous. You talking about black women down to her, so she advocating for abortion. That's exactly what she doing. It was definitely a word salad. It was a confusing word salad. You know, that's like putting barbecue sauce on your fucking Caesar salad right there. All politicians just hit the talking points, hoping no one is paying attention. Yeah, exactly. Emotional word salad, exactly what it is. That's what she do when her husband get out on her and she just talk like a black woman and he probably back down. I'm sorry. Not a black woman. Ignorant black woman. Let's say a hood chick. Right. We still talking about prescription drug costs. It was rectified and now we back there. Luger Storm, what up? I think this was staged to make it seem like she cares. Maybe, but nobody bought it. Nobody I know bought it, at least. You know what I mean? I think he is too. You know what I mean? But you know, go along, get along, gang. Right? Ain't that what Kwame Brown say? Go along, get along. No child tax credit is going to be deducted for what you would have gotten for your dependents. Less coming back. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, if you new, hit the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Go back and watch my stuff. I'm sure you'll like it. Exactly. Like, that's another thing. That's a stigma that, you know, you want to kind of kill that. And you just fucking made it worse. Yeah, Joe Rogan. He I think he back on track right now. We'll see. You know what I mean? I think he back to the days of the old Joe. I think they done pissed him off and he out for blood. You know what I mean? Yo, what up? We got Hotep Jesus in the building. What's going on, sir? Hope you're having a good Sunday. But yeah, listen. She's so, like I said, intellectually lazy and dishonest. She had no comeback for that. You know what I mean? And it was a perfect chance to make herself look so much better. And she didn't do it. But what did you expect? What more did you expect from her? You know what I mean? Like I said, she running off at the mouth about issues that were already resolved by old Donnie T that they reinstituted and now talking about they trying to fix. Like I said, you caused the problem and then you create the solution to the problem that you caused in the first place. What they're doing. You know what I mean? Not to mention, she been out to lunch since she been in office. Nobody know what she been doing. Nobody know where she been. You know what I mean? You know, like I said, I think they're going to get swept. They're going to get swept come 2024. I got a feeling. But yeah, they're definitely showing their cards, man. Yeah, that's that Hotep Jesus dude. But like, yo, they're gonna get swept. I think the Democrats gonna get swept in the midterms, provided we don't have, you know, a midterm remix special. You know what I mean? We'll see. It's gonna be interesting. But this interview with Charlemagne, that part right there is what everybody's been paying attention to. And she made herself look like, even if I haven't watched the interview, I'll probably go back and watch it later, if, you know, whenever I get time to it. But even if the rest of the interview was okay, that one part right there it killed her. You know what I mean? She showed her colors right there. You know what I mean? It's interesting, to say the least. These midterms are gonna be real spicy, and I can't wait to check it out. Anyway. Interview when it's planned. Don't believe you need more people, please. Don't believe you need more people. They better get Hill Dog and some hot sauce. Boy, listen. Yeah, you got rhinos. You got rhinos out here. Those Republicans in name only. My grandfather would change the channel, turn TV off, or turn her head when Bush would, on the screen, starting to feel like her towards Kamala about, yeah. Shout out to Hotep Jesus. Appreciate you coming through, sir. I think we had a good discussion today on the live stream. Been trying to get these live streams going, y'all. I was trying to do them in the truck, but every time I started, like, bad signal or whatever, and I'm like, dang, you know, thought thought that 5G was supposed to be, the shit, but guess not. I guess not. But Hotep's been told you. Anyway, I'm happy y'all could join me today. I had a lot of fun. Woke up this morning like, you know what? Let me get on live and holler at some folks. Talk about some things that's been going on over the weekend. Anyway, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell, let you know when I got new content coming out. And keep your heads on the swivel, guys. Things are coming down the pipe. That dark winter is here. Take care of you and yours. Cannon Hotep. Holla at you.